So my talk is a revision SCR for rotator cuff repair. As my disclosure, so as you know, arthroscopic rotator cuff repair, so maintain rotator cuff repair integrity has been correlated with improved outcome. So to prevent the rotator cuff repair, around 10 to 20 years ago, repair technique was developed. First, rotator cuff repair is performed using the single row repair technique, but afterwards, double row surgeries was developed. Then it's a 15 years ago, biochemical study shows the suture bridge technique provides stronger fixation than single row, double row technique. So now I think most of the shoulder surgeon using the suture bridge technique for rotator cuff repair. But here's the return rate of the rotator cuff repair last year. Still, it's very high, 6.2 to 38.1%. Actually, this number has not been changed for last 10 years, even though the repair technique developed and any augmentation technique developed by this literature did not change. So we need to think about how to treat repair patients and how to prevent repair after rotator cuff repair. So here first, how to treat the repair patients. I'm using the SCR using ultrafascial. Actually, for revision SCR, maybe you should use ultrafascial. This is it's a very strong graft material. Dermal graft, maybe you cannot get good outcome because too elastic. So definitely I recommend ultrafascial for revision SCR. Here is our result, and revision SCR graft tear rate actually 23.5%. For me it's very high because the primary SCR is 3.5%. So still we need to think about how to prevent the graft tear for revision SCR. And the ACS score here is improved after SCR 27 to 79, but it's not good. It's not excellent, 79, because the primary SCR is a 94 after surgery. And after elevation, it's revision SCR improved 69 to 127, but again, it's not excellent because the primary 155. So revision SCR is worse outcome than primary SCR. And this result is a healed patient, a graft failure patient after revision SCR. Healed patient, it's better, of course. SS score improved 27 to 82, but improved, but again, it's not excellent because 82. But graft failure, it's improved, but still 68 after surgery. Just they get the pain relief, so that's why score increased, but the function did not improve very well, so only 68. And after elevation, his patient increased to 75 to 144. 144 it's not bad, but for me it's not excellent. But graft failure, actually 53 to 73 did not change. So graft healing is essential to improve shoulder function, even for revision SCR. And we compare the immobilization 4 weeks, 6 weeks, because for primary SCR, I immobilize the shoulder joint for 4 weeks after SCR. That's why I studied the 4 weeks immobilization after SCR. But the graft tear rate actually very high, 33.3%. I cannot accept this number. So since 2020, I changed to 6 weeks immobilization. Then graft tear rate decreased 12.5%. But still, it's not low, not so low. So still we need to think about how to prevent graft tear for after revision SCR. SS score 4 weeks immobilization improved 21 to 75, but 75 is not good result. And 6 weeks, it's a little bit better, 33 to 83. And the active elevation increased from 58 to 130, and 6 weeks, 83 to 143. So from this data, 6 weeks immobilization is recommended for revision SCR. I want to show case one. It's active elevation 40 degree before surgery. This is a really fast cases of the revision SCR. It's a massive road cuff tear, but at that time, it's almost 20 years ago, so I did not study the SCR, so I did the arthroscopic rotator cuff repair for this kind of the large tear. From humeral joint, this is a torn tendon tissue. It's very tight, even after immobilization. It's a mobilization. Then from subaquilum space, at that time I did the margin convergence first. Then the repair the tendon to the great velocity. So we could do the complete repair for this patient, and from the humeral joint, the repaired. But actually, margin convergence, I stopped because of very high rate of retear. Because the tendon tissue is very tight and very degenerated. Then this patient, 3 months after local repair, we could see some continuity, but a very thin tendon tissue. So it's the classification 3. But 6 months after local repair, we could see the retear after retear of the repaired tendon. So it's the type 5. Then we try to do the 6 months the physical therapy still, but he couldn't elevate arm. So we did a recovery reconstruction for this patient. And this is a suture here from humeral joint view. You can see the acromion from humeral joint. And the subaquilum space, you can see the adhesion between the acromion and the torn tendon. And it's very tight and very degenerated, the torn tendon edge. So we did SCR. Now this is the graph. It's a different technique than compared it's because it's a very fast surgery of the SCR. But actually, graft is very good fixation, and the red part is teres minor. Then from the humeral joint, you can see the graft here. Then finally, 6 months after SCO, he could elevate arm. Actually, this patient, 1 year before local repair and 1 year after local repair, 2 years he couldn't elevate arm, but now he can elevate arm after SCO. So now he's very, very happy. And now 10 years after SCO, graft looks a little bit thinner, but actually still intact. And he, no problem at all, and he's satisfied with this surgery. And the second case is active elevation 90 degree, but this is a very recent case. So I want to show the current technique. And he did the local repair in other hospital, and the other doctor did the local repair, but failed. Then he came to my clinic, and then we did the SCR. It's from posterior view, the humeral joint. You can see the sutures and subaquilum space. Many sutures there, but no tendon tissue on the humeral head. And first, we need to remove all of the sutures and cut and pull out. Then some of the suture we take out using the shaver. So afterwards, we start the SCR. This is like a large tear, and the tendon tissue is very tight. Then you can see the suture anchor here, but he used a biocomposite anchor, so we did not remove. Then we, as always, we do the acroplasty very well. Then now we have a joint. We release the labrum and between the labrum and also superior capsule and infraspinatus and teres minor to see to expose the supraglenoid. Then remove the soft tissue on the supraglenoid. Then afterwards, I usually keep the biceps there. Then behind the biceps, you can see the coracoid base. So now here is the coracoid, and the coracoid base, we inserted the suture anchor or the anterior glenoid anchor. It's usually use a 4.5 or 4.75 millimeter suture anchor. And the posterior glenoid, posterior supraglenoid, the nearby portal, we insert one more anchor. Even the massive tear, so 2 glenoid suture anchor is enough. Then afterward, the 2 suture anchor with tape is inserted to the medial footprint. Yeah. Again, the 2 suture anchor is enough for even the large tear. Then all of the suture attached to the graft outside the body. Then now I'm inserting the graft to the joint. Then graft is coming to the joint. This is graft. Then most of the case, root cuff tendon tissue is there, so we need to pull up the root cuff tendon. Then under the tendon, we push the graft more medially. Then after we confirm the graft is reached to the glenoid, then no time, all of this for suture. Then after fix the glenoid side, lateral side is the suture bridge, actually speed bridge, using a knotless suture anchor. Then finally, the posterior side suture between the graft and the tendon tissue. We usually do the 2 side to the suture posterior side between the graft and tendon. But this patient had some good tissue on the infront, the supraspinatus tendon edge. So I made 2 more sutures. So 4 side suture I apply this patient. So now second suturing and third one using the suture lasso or AcuPath or chair or easy pass, any suture passing device is available. And the medial side, it's a graft to the supraspinatus tendon tissue. Supra is very degenerated, but I no time for this patient. So 4 sides suture. This is the final view. It's a graft and a tendon. So lateral side is the speed bridge here. Then 1 year after SCR, he can elevate around 170 and the graft is excellent. Actually, the very thick graft is there because now I recommend 6 to 8 millimeter graft, and I use the 6 to 8 millimeter thickness of graft. So the post-operative MRI shows very thick graft like this. Then finally, one more case. This MRI is before local repair in other hospital. It's a massive tear and very degenerated, almost no tendon tissue. Then just a local repair in other hospital, the other surgeon said he did a complete local repair, but just after local repair, the MRI shows already torn, or I don't know, he may did the partial repair, but anyway, did not repair completely. Then after about 7 months after surgery, the actually Marshall was the tendon tissue there, and problem of this patient is the tuberculoplasty he did with local repair. So 7 months after local repair, no greater tuberculoplasty. So to get a good outcome after SCR, growth velocity is necessary. So that is the problem, but his elevation only 30 degree, and he wanted to do the SCR, so we did SCR. Then 2 years after surgery, the no growth velocity here, but fortunately, graft is still intact. But at elevation, 150 degree. 150 degree is not bad, but actually, if this patient had a greater velocity before SCR, maybe he could elevate on 170 or 180. So anyway, tuberculoplasty during primary aortic repair makes worse outcome after revision SCR. So I don't recommend tuberculoplasty if you think you may do the SCR for the revision case. And next, I want to tell about how to prevent leakage after local repair. It's the calf reconstruction for reinforcement. It means the SCR plus calf repair, already published in the American Journal of Sports Medicine. And this is the result of this paper. It's only 34 patients, but actually red bar is SCR plus calf repair. For no rod calf repair after surgery, 0% repair. On the other hand, rod calf repair alone, 4.4% repair. And then from 2013 to 2020, we have done 155 cases of this surgery, but still 0% repair. So I recommend this surgery for the degenerative but reparable, reducible rod calf tear. So take-home message here, SCR can make functional improvement and pain relief even for repair after rod calf repair. 6 weeks immobilization is recommended for revision SCR to prevent graft tear. Tuberculoplasty is the first local repair makes worse outcome after revision SCR. And the revision SCR had higher graft tear rate and lower functional outcome than primary SCR because patients with re-tear after local repair have already had calf tear arthropathy or poor bone quality and or severe muscle atrophy in shoulder joint. So we should focus on how to prevent re-tear after local repair. SCR for reinforcement completely prevent operative re-tear after local repairs. Therefore, SCR for reinforcement is strongly recommended to prevent re-tear after local repair and revision surgery. Thanks for attention.